What is up?
What is happening? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes. This is our first recording of the new year, man.
Yeah.
It feels weird plus cuz we also have a first for us today on the podcast. You
Right.
know.
But before we get into that, let's
Yeah.
just remind our listeners and our viewers to make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe to the You Want It, You Got It podcast on all of your favorite social media outlets and stream it wherever you do, whether it be Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Napster.
It is still there.
Yeah. All of the outlets you can find these two chuckleheads talking with people way cooler than they are on a weekly basis. So
Yeah. So again, do that. Follow, like, subscribe, tell your friends. If you want to be a guest, hit us up. We're always, we got plenty of people, but we would always like more. So, I don't mean sound like plenty of people like they're beating down our doors or anything, but there's a couple in the bank.
and you never know when the homies from Prince Edward Island, teeth out, just might happen to pop in every once in a while.
You
And
never know. You never know. But I
it,
won't be able to. They won't be able to hear me. So what's the
yeah,
matter?
they probably won't see me. But yeah. And yeah. I mean, and always the random shots of that are taken at young Nathan for drinking Mick Ultra,
Yeah.
even if it is free. So yeah. So hopefully in the new year 2026 he gets a better free beer.
Oh man, if I
Yeah,
see him, I'll have to get him a beer. It'll be my first
yeah.
beer. It'll be my first beer I've bought for anybody in years. But I'll make sure it's a good one, like a
Yeah.
PBR.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hell, I'd take a PBR over a Mick Ultra.
No, yeah.
100, yeah.
Hey, and if you're drinking Mick Ultra out there, sorry. Anywho,
I mean, you're probably more fit than I am, so
you
that's
probably
what
are
I get
right.
for talking
But
shit about a fit beer.
yeah. That's what you need to get. You need to get. There's already a bar, and I guess we can ask our guest today about this. But I saw this about a month ago. This dude opened up a bar in England called Gym.
Nice.
So you tell your wife you're going to the gym. You're going to the gym.
Nice. You're wearing jeans to work out? Yeah, babe.
I'm gonna go get me a fit. I'm gonna get my fit on, and then he drinks fit beer.
Yeah.
Why I just did a horrible accent of an English.
Yeah, I'm sure I did too. So hopefully our next guest
isn't
does not
offended.
hold it against us.
He did tell me he will try to turn the British down, and I was like, no. So
yeah. I mean, maybe we can turn on the subtitles for him so
maybe,
we can understand what the fuck he's saying.
Because I got an English word. Because all we're gonna do on this episode anyway is just talk a bunch of rubbish.
Yeah. I love rubbish.
Because rubbish is like that means nonsense, right? Like
Yep.
right,
Yeah.
I like rubbish. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so today, Eric, we are speaking with I guess you kind of would say this is like a super group, but it's not. It was I guess a COVID project that Lee had come up with during that era when he was studio band, getting different singers from all over the fucking world to be on these tracks. And now it's become a big thing. And apparently there's like 30 plus songs out there.
Yeah, dude, and they're all ragers. Oh man,
bangers, man. And every song has a different vibe to it, and
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I kind of cheated. I listened to an episode with him on it the other day and learned how the process went and how he writes those music, the lyrics or the tracks, and they change every once in a while depending on what the lyrics come back to. But yeah, man, so many different styles, so many different ideas. That's a cool concept. I could totally see you doing a project like that yourself. Maybe like an acoustic project because you don't have all the gear at your crib.
Yeah, for sure.
But I could totally see you doing projects like that, man. I mean, kind of. If people have listened to this podcast, they already know Eric is Mr. 615, what in the punk rock world, because everybody that's in the bands out there in Nashville now have been in a form of Lonesome Town Drifters with.
And I
Sir
thank them
One.
all for
Yes.
collaborating with me and my heartfelt sappy lyrics.
they're like, enough of this crap. We're gonna go write our
Yeah.
own depressing music. So.
It's just going to be a lot faster,
Yeah.
a lot more beats per minute. So,
And as you guys heard, the introduction of this podcast is actually done by Mr. Eric here and his band Lonesome Town Drifters.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check that band out.
And
Yeah,
check
they're
out
great.
No Concern. It's my new project. So yeah.
Matter of fact,
yeah. Happy 2026, everybody. And shit, let's get this show on the road and let's welcome in Lee from Hike the Peak.
Yeah. And welcome, Lee. What's going on, Lee?
All right, kids. How's it going? Yeah.
Right,
Welcome
yeah.
to the bleakness that is winter in England.
Yeah. Well,
so let me get this right. So you guys said that I'm your first international guest. Is that correct?
Yeah, if we're not going to count our brethren from up
Canada.
north in Canada, yeah, this is the first across the pond.
Okay.
Yeah.
No pressure there then.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just concerned about the internet. That's all I was concerned about.
What do you mean? We're like with some backwater. We do have the internet. We do have the wheel. We have the.
Oh, you guys have the wheel. Okay.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
We used to have the wheel, but
yeah,
no.
only one. I go to work on a unicycle. I can't, all this car stuff with 4 wheels is just mind-boggling.
Shit.
Yeah. So we're breaking cherries today, man. So
honored to be a part of it.
hell yeah, glad to have you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining for sure.
I mentioned on this podcast often. A lot of bands start during COVID, and this project really did start during COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you ask some of my previous band members from bands that I was in before COVID, it's probably the perfect time for me for being a bit of a controlling asshole. And the only people that could complain about the music I was writing at the time was my dog and my 3 cats and my wife. And so, if you keep all those guys at arm's length, and it was kind of, it's amazing how many songs you can write when you're locked up for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to like nearly 80. And
Jeez.
man, I had nothing to do. Literally, obviously, we couldn't leave the house. Same with you guys. We're kind of on lockdown. We were allowed to do our 1 hour's exercise a day. We could go outside. And, like the pubs were kind of faltering. You were getting beer delivered to your house. And like, I couldn't do shit. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't watch more Netflix. I've completed Netflix. I've got all this kind of shit in my spare room. Am I allowed to swear? Is that okay, guys?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of invested in my home setup and just thought, okay, let's see what could occur with this. And I've done about 6 or 7 European tours with my previous band. And so we've made loads of contacts in a bunch of countries as far flung as like Poland, Switzerland, Belgium, Germany, Italy, Sweden, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, if I'm stuck at home doing nothing, these guys are all stuck at home doing nothing. They haven't got band practice with their usual bands and that kind of thing. So I just thought, if you don't, my mum and dad raised me to be kind of, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
And it was a base of sending out a bunch of emails. And when the first 2 or 3 came back to said, yeah, we've got nothing to do, so game on. And then if you'd have told me that I'd be sat here talking to you guys in the States 5.5 years after this started, I'd think you was insane. Because, when you kind of do something like what I was doing, when all the kind of COVID restrictions stopped, you think, well, that's the end of that. All the other guys have got to go back to their bands and all that kind of thing. But over time, as what I've been doing, it's kind of got some momentum. And before we know it, a vinyl release down, 30 tracks released down. I've got 2 festivals under the belt. And it's just wild. And especially a man of my age and persuasion, the gray in the beard is correct.
I mean, what are you pushing 35? I mean, you the young man. You look good. You look young.
20
I mean,
bucks in the post. 20 bucks in the post.
We're not too old. We're not too young either, man. I mean, I
Yeah.
just turned 50. So
yeah, I was 51 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go. We found our tribe.
Yeah.
And
All right.
And yeah, we go forward. It's
fuck yeah.
The project will keep going until I either run out of money or people stop responding to my pleading emails. And it's like, who's this idiot from England wants what? They want what? You know? Yeah, but I can't pay you because I'm kind of paying for all the mastering and mixing, and in a band. Yeah, that's been a bit of an eye opener. Because when you're in a band, you can share costs.
Yep.
When you're one guy doing it and you have to suck it all up, yeah, it can sting a little bit. And until the assholes at Spotify start pulling their fingers out of the backside and not investing in adverts for ice and all that jazz and actually paying musicians.
Yeah.
Can we yeah. But it'll keep going until people say no or till I run out of money. I think the wife's really happy because I can beaver off into my studio and I'm totally out from under her feet. And so she's like, yeah, that dickhead can go and stay upstairs for a couple of days. And she's happy. So that's kind of where it's at.
Well, you just said something. You said you've already had like a couple fests on your belt. How do you do that with different singers and stuff? Or is it just like you do it and you do all the singing?
No. The only way it can work, I think that's the USP of the project, is the fact that each of the songs has a different singer. And so a couple of my friends run Manchester Punk Festival, which is an annual event that's been going 11 years now. And it's pretty, I think this year we've got Strike Anywhere headlining. Last year it was Hot Water Music.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good, best week, really amazing weekend. And one of the guys who runs the festival collared me for like the previous year and said, we're thinking about booking these bands. Do you think we can make a set work? And I was like, yeah, I think so. And so he kind of booked the bands with kind of an eye on who would be singing in what I did. And a couple of the guys that I am friends with, like, we agreed to set up like a backing band. And that was it. It was set in stone. It was like, as soon as you see the band name on the poster, it made it incredibly real. And so from having, just kind of pottering about in your own bedroom to then realizing that you've now got to play a show. And the only time that the guys who are singing will sing, they won't rehearse, is when they perform that song for the first time on stage.
Shit.
Yeah. And so it just made it hellishly stressful. Everybody, the thing is when, people who listen to kind of all this pop nonsense and all that kind of stuff, is they think that's pro and think that stuff at my level or the punk rock level is not pro. But the people that I dealt with were incredibly pro. They're all in full-time bands. The emergence of having technology at your fingertips, so I can send them backing tracks. Everybody knows the click track. Everybody knows the BPM. We've got all the stems and stuff that we can organize. And it was just a case of, this is the set. Everybody was kind of aware of what was going to happen. And then we kind of throw it out to the ether. Because I haven't got a history of playing live gigs to build up an audience. It's actually the music that's built the audience up. And so, to be put, I think our slot was at like 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon. So we were third in quite a large venue, and the doors are open for the first couple of bands, and you just don't know what's going to happen. We took to stage with 500 people in the venue. So that was a bit of an eye opener.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, like 40 minutes has passed and it's done. And I was like, okay, we don't have to do that again. So Punk Rock Holiday in Slovenia is a very famous big festival. I've played it with my previous band in 2016. And one of the things that to play on the beach stage is, if you go the year before, you can basically submit your music, and the festival organizers listen to every submission and then kind of work out like a lineup that they want to have. And then like last year, they pick like 30 bands, and then it goes to a public vote. And 3,000 people voted for us. And I think we made it in by the skin of our teeth. It was like the top 10 people, the top 10 bands in the first 1 to 10 would actually get to play. And it was, I think we beat the 11th band by about 21 votes. So it's really close.
Yeah.
But then once again, the panic sets in. It's like, oh shit, we've got to kind of, okay, who's booked? And it was slightly different in Slovenia. It was the fact that I had to get a couple of people that I knew who were playing with other bands to then sing somebody else's song. So it wasn't each singer did their song like they did in Manchester. Gotcha. On that time, we had to get a couple of people who kind of did other people's songs. And once again, I think we played third on the warm-up day. So we played the very first day of the festival, which is great. So if you go to the festival and you're playing at the back end, it can be very hard work because people have been hitting it hard all week. The headlining band doesn't finish playing till like 1:30 in the morning. But the cool thing about is there's no kind of multi-stages. What you have is the beach stage has bands on. They play till tea time. Then there's a handover. They stop. And then the main stage takes over till 1:30 in the morning. So for a festival, it's cool. People don't have to worry about clashes or that kind of stuff. It's like there's just bands playing all day. If the weather's good, they're floating by in the river because the stage where we played is literally on a beach, so it's next to a river.
Oh wow!
It's wild. It's the most beautiful festival location I've ever in the world ever. And it went off. Apart from a couple of technical issues with my guitar, which I wanted to set fire to, we got through the set again. And once again, there was nearly 800, 1,000 people watching it, which is just, to play that as your second ever gig was mind blowing. And in my first band, I think my second ever gig was to like 8 people. So, there's a lot to be said, but it's, and whether it'll happen again, we don't know, but we've proved it now with 2 shows in 2 different countries, that people are willing to do it. And because it's a lot of work, if people are concerned and dealing with their own sets, if they're playing a festival, and then they've got to think about where is their set, because that's priority. Are they doing it with me? And is it too close? Are they going to screw their they've got to get warmed up and all that kind of stuff. I've had a couple of instances where it's quite close and people's like, nah, sorry, this is something special. Let's make it work. And I've been very lucky with everybody so far, and long may the luck continue.
How many tracks do you have recorded currently?
That
are released.
Wow. 28. No, 29. So there's 29, and the next 2 songs will come out in February next year. This year, shit. Okay, this year, about 6 weeks time.
Yeah, make sure you guys put 2026 when you write your check. Who writes checks anymore? But make sure you write your 2026.
No, yesterday at work I was hitting like 2-5, and luckily you can make that 5 into a 6 really easily.
So, it was a biro. Yeah. So 31. So 29 tracks, and I got one of my pals who does like something that is nothing to do with this music, because the entire project is collaborative. I got him to do like a dance remix of one of my tunes.
Nice.
Cool.
He must have had an interesting night, because I woke up at Christmas Day about 3 years ago. At 6 a.m. he delivered this remix. It's like a drum and bass remix, and I was like, what the hell were you doing at Christmas Eve till like 6
What
in the
was
morning?
in the eggnog?
I dread to think. But I'm not embarrassed about something like that. It's about just bringing different bits and bobs. The entire project I've done is based on an ethos. It is just about getting people together and just making stuff work. And usually people do that in like a room with pals, but this is gone, all the way from me to Australia and to Canada and United States and Sweden and Finland. And, there's a couple of spots that we haven't touched yet that we might see something in 2026 and 27, but I can't comment just yet.
Is that a goal though, is to try to get somebody from every continent?
Yeah. Well, I don't know any penguins that can sing in Antarctica.
I got you there. I got you hooked up. I got some people.
Yeah, man, hit me. Yeah,
he's got his ear to the ground with all hardcore up in
game on.
So
the hardcore and punk scene in Antarctica is off the chain, man.
Yeah,
it's off the iceberg.
Touche, brilliant, fantastic. Yeah, that is the aim, is to try and get as many different people from different countries as possible. I'm always trying to get new people, always trying to get the girls involved. I had an EP that I just released last year that was my first one with 2 girl singers. I hate the term female fronted. It really boils my piss. They are bands and they just happen to have a girl singing.
Yeah, for sure.
And that kind of stuff. So I'm always trying to make it as even, as inclusive as possible. So yeah, once again, if you know any hardcore penguins in Antarctica, then yeah, game on. I don't know whether you guys have Pingu in the States.
Just in the zoo.
Pingu's a very famous cartoon made out of plasticine, and it doesn't have any. They don't speak English. They just kind of mack at each other.
Okay.
And I'll send you a link afterwards. There's an amazing one where he basically gets this penguin tries to look after a lobster who keeps attacking his beak. At the same time, his little brother is trying to potty train his little brother who can't piss in the toilet. So he builds him some stairs so he can actually hop up the stairs to pee in the toilet, because every time he tries to pee, he pees on the floor in front of the toilet. So that's the kind of level that you're dealing with Pingu.
So tell us about, like, I've never spoke with anyone from England, obviously. Eric, do you play England, Eric?
Yeah. We when I was in Blacklist Royals, we did 2 UK tours. Yeah. I can't remember where we played, but I remember the second time we went over, it was right before the royal wedding. And yeah, everyone was not fucking pleased about that. We got some like good posters that I have like in a trunk behind me that's just like, as many derogatory things about the royal wedding. It was kind of like, looking at old like Sex Pistol shit with defacing the queen and whatnot. So
the thing is, the royal family is pretty divisive. They're kind of, you get the promo stuff. It's like, okay, they bring a lot of tourists here. Yeah, okay, I understand, because Americans' history doesn't go back as far as our history. And so it's just like, but the thing is, it's just rich people in old fucking windy buildings.
Right.
And, that's the royal. If you're an older person in the UK, you're quite a fan of the royal family. The youth really don't care for it. It's one of those things that us as British, it's one of those things that we love to cling on to, but just doesn't serve any purpose anymore, like colonialism and that kind of shit. Our history, loads of people think it's really romantic, but British history is a bit shit, really.
Right. Yeah.
We were like the America of 1742. going into countries with brown-skinned people, raping, pillaging, stealing shit. And that's not kind of, it's not really cool. People thought it was at the time. And we're so ingrained in our heritage that we kind of lose the fact about how we're not very forward thinking as a country, because all our graces and past happened in history. What cool shit have we done recently? Not a lot. And so, I'm quite cynical as a British people are quite cynical. I think I'm very, very cynical with that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah. We had a blast while we were over there. I'd love to, take a trip over there with my wife and actually be a tourist, not just be in a band trying to get from like one place to another and hurry up and wait to load in and play the gig and then load out, try to see shit whenever you could. But yeah, I'd like to seriously just go over there and be a tourist. So
it's the archetypal tour story. It's literally in a van, it's motorway service stations, it's shit pasties, and bags of crisps, chips, and
Right.
and he's playing the show. Have you got somewhere to stay? Is it somebody's floor? Is it not very far away? You know,
yeah.
yeah.
Do they got a dog that's gonna bite? You know,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Have they got a dog? Have they made sandwiches that have got dog hair all over them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Man, that just reminds me what you just said with the dog hair all over it. So like I remember in like elementary school, 2nd, 3rd grade, 4th grade, we'd have like you could learn how to bring some food in and we'll cook, and people would bring in like eggs, and there'd be that guy who would bring in the butter, and the butter would take off the lid of the butter, and there'd be like crumbs and fucking jelly and shit like all inside this. I'm like, your parents like. I'm like, if I was a parent, I'd be like, nah, bro, we're going to buy you a new tub to bring to school. Because you got to bring that back after all your nappy kids have been digging inside there.
Yeah. When you have to get the CDC in to test stuff before you can cook.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty
Next
problematic.
day, half the fucking class is out due to diarrhea,
Oh, hell.
The thing is, I don't know. It's the same when you was kids, the same as me. You didn't give a shit. You were caked in mud. You'd go out and do all that type of things.
Yeah.
And
eating dirt.
Eating dirt. There's young kids. It's like I've raised a young lass from a previous relationship before I was with my wife, and just like you're constantly trying to just keep shit out of kids' mouths. It's no knives, no dirt, no malt, no lard, no. No dog toys was one in our house because we had a couple of dogs. Stop eating the dog toys. What's all that shit about?
Hey, they're both working their teeth out,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's building up a natural immunity, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. If it's good enough for the dog, I mean, it's got to be good enough for us, right?
So. You think so? Isn't there some kind of law that dog food has to be able to be eaten by humans, or did I just mishear that? Is that one of those?
I would think
internet lies.
I would think that should be true. If it isn't, I would think it should be true because would I eat dog food? No, because it's dog food. But all right, think about this. Imagine being a dog. You eat the same shit every single day for your whole life, right? I wonder why they're begging for food at the table because that shit don't, it don't taste like nothing, It's like, man, because they're like,
you got to mix it up.
You eat something different every day, and here I am eating this canned sludge and some fucking dry dog food. I don't have a dog, so I don't know what I'd feed it. I'd probably make it chicken and rice like some people do,
My next door neighbor cooks chicken and vegetables for his dog fresh every single day.
Wow.
The dedication to his dog's diet has to be commended.
Now, what's his diet like?
It cracks that tin. It's the same old shit. It's got jelly and stuff around it.
Yeah. My dog's eating great. Me, give me that microwave popcorn and a burrito, and I'm good to go. Call it dinner. I will say this. I'm almost on 2 years without a microwave, and I'm okay without it right now.
Wow.
I do miss my microwave popcorn though.
Yeah.
Wow, I couldn't imagine living without a microwave. To be fair,
I've been using my air fryer for everything else though now.
Well,
so it works the same.
The air fryer is great, but yeah.
It's just like some of those little treats, like popcorn. I mean, I can make popcorn the old school way on the stove and in the pot, but I'd burn it, so I'm not even gonna give it a try.
Thing is, I use my microwave daily. I always make too much coffee on one day. So when I get up, there's like a little bit left in the mug, put it bang in the microwave.
You got to reheat it.
Fresh pot. Yeah. I don't think it works. Could you air fry coffee?
I mean, you could, because all it is technically is just a convection oven. It's just a convection oven. You're just people. I see people make cakes in them. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know. It was tough though. It is tough.
So it just broke, and you decided not to get another one, or are you just too lazy?
Yeah, because after I saw the price of what a fucking microwave costs nowadays, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like I don't need it. And then the cheap ones you could barely fit anything in it because they're like dorm size ones or the kind you see like at a car dealership that you can microwave your burrito in or something. You know?
Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah, trust me, I did go look, and I was like, yeah, I'm good for now. You know, I should have told my parents. You know, they were like, you want anything for Christmas? I'm always like, nah, I'm good.
You
I
missed
get what
it. You missed
I get what I need when I need it. Obviously,
Yeah.
I guess I am not getting a microwave, but you know, whatever.
There's well, shit. Yeah, you can't wait for your birthday either, man, because that's.
I just had it.
Yeah, you just had that too.
The thing is, it's proof in the pudding. You literally do not need it now. That's it. It's like the withdrawal system's gone. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like if I reheat pizza, I put it in a skillet with a little bit of water on the bottom, put a lid on it, it crisps the bottom, it makes the top all nice and cheesy still. It's perfect.
Look at you, fucking Gordon Ramsay over here in the fucking air fryer.
I didn't think this was like a fucking gourmet cooking podcast. It's
you want it, you got it, man.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you want it, you got it. We can make that into anything, you know.
Yeah, note to self, right? Water pizza, air fried.
Yeah. No. I take a regular skillet on the stove, put it on there, put the pizza in there, put a little bit of water in the pan so the water makes that steam.
Yeah,
it's perfect. I will not knock you in the wrong direction. Try it.
Holy shit!
I'll make a video.
Yeah. I have to see a video of this now.
I'll be like,
this will be the next. You want it, you got it. Real on Instagram. So
yeah.
And then then we'll bring in all the foodies. It will work great. It'll be awesome.
This is what the punters want to hear. Not about music. They want to hear about this shit.
So, hey, Lee, you were telling me before we got on about a couple weeks back, you were going to go snowboarding, or did you already go snowboarding?
No, I'm going a week tomorrow.
Okay. When you're going to Switzerland?
I go to Austria, a place called Solden.
Okay.
Yeah, it's we need some snow. Global warming sucks a bit. It's changed a lot. I've been doing about 25 years. And it's pretty much the entire reason I just go to work is to earn money, to beaver it away. My wife doesn't snowboard. This is my thing. And I go away a couple of times a year. And it keeps me on an even keel. And I just love it. And being outdoors and I used to skateboard as a kid with all my friends, all grew up skateboarding. And my knees kind of gave out when I hit about 35. So it's like, okay, I can't be olling off shit anymore. The snowboarding will have to take over. So when you land, it doesn't hit as much. And it's afforded me the joy of being able to go around the world. I've been to Canada, did some heli-boarding in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was insane. Been to Japan twice, snowboarding as well, and then done, a lot of places in Europe. And it's quite frustrating to see that. We was having a conversation with a friend at work about 5 or 6 days ago about in 50 years time, will snow sports actually exist?
That's a good question. Yeah. It's not everybody that used to have snow has snow anymore,
No, and and the fact that we still have people who are climate deniers, come on, look out your window, folks.
It was 65 degrees here in the South on Christmas.
Yeah.
And when I first moved to Tennessee, and then I'm in Tennessee, Erickson, New York, but I moved here in '93, and we had some good snow back then, but it definitely has faded away as much snow as we got it. We get here. You
got to feel for little kids is due to the age that we all are. Back in the day, you literally could, around Christmas time, in those 2 or 3 weeks, Christmas, New Year, you were guaranteed some snow. You could make a snowman. I literally can't remember the last time I had the capacity to make a snowman in my own country when it used to be on the regs. So that's quite concerning. So I'm very kind of thinking in trying to do, as much as you can for the environment, as much as you can dietary wise, and veganism, vegetarianism, and we try and be vegan at home with my wife. And it's got to the point where everybody, a lot of the things when you look back are like the the old hardcore ethic that I grew up with, listening to all the Minor Threat stuff and all that, just don't, one of my famous the famous quotes I like is a comedian from Australia called Jim Jeffries, who I think you guys know in the States. It just said, don't be a cunt.
Yeah.
And basically work backwards from that. So if you, if you're an asshole to people, then you deserve everything you get. But you just got to kind of treat people, be nice. And why is it hard to be nice to people in this day and age?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, believe me, in the States right now, it's hard not to be nice to everybody because of the certain climate that we're in. But fuck, man, I'm doing my best. I mean, I really am. I'm trying to lead myself down that path of like, not like a spiritual, like Buddhist or Dharmaism or anything like that. But just trying to get myself better, starting this year, just more PMA, less negativity, less hate, towards idiots. I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, I just came back I was down in Tennessee visiting my parents, and on one of the major network channels that we watch, or that my parents had on, there was a fucking commercial for ice every like 45 minutes or every hour. And I'm just like, how is this being put on the air with the shit that they're pulling, And they're like, oh, ICE is doing a great job getting out all the bad guys. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, okay. Money talks.
Yeah,
is it the link between people who are stupid and people who are dead is they don't know that they are stupid or dead, and so that's the same. And being a positive, like the attitude you're gonna have, you have to deal with the self because you can't deal with other people. When I learned to drive, and the guy who taught me was a hunchback, and he had his anyway. By the way, he used to basically say when he learned to drive, he was like, as long as you control the car that you're in, you can't control what the people are doing. And you have to kind of do that with your own life. Everybody,
for sure.
You can make a positive change. Toby Morse has got a lot to answer for with his PMA. If we can deal with that and keep that going forward, then the world will be a better place. But unfortunately, at the moment, the world's a bit shit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Right. It all starts with us, man.
You gave us a lot. You gave us some beautiful fast food chains, some beautiful music, and some fashion. Come on, I've got my cat backwards. You wouldn't get this shit. You wouldn't get this shit from fashion designers in the UK. Come on.
No. Yeah. Is that where that came from? Us? Yeah. No.
I'm sure it's New York hip hop. I'm sure that's
exactly. So you said Jim Jeffries. I'm gonna ask you real quick then, since I got a quick question. Jim Jeffries or Jimmy Carr?
What, the best comedian?
Which is who? Yeah.
I've seen Jim Jeffries live 3 times.
Okay.
And when he stopped drinking, his act went to shit, and he got too much money. Jimmy Carr is the best heckler put down guy on the planet. There is people who just try and push him, and he's got to come back for everything.
He's so fast. Like it's like you don't even get done. You're not even done speaking, and he's already back at you. It's like he's so quick. I love watching the dude. I like them both equally.
Jimmy Carr famously, when he's on tour in the UK, he gets public transport to his gigs.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't like get chauffeured around in his limousine or whatever. He's a multimillionaire, but apart from his tax evasion he did years ago. But yeah, he's famous. Like, he always puts photos up on the trains, which are notoriously fucking shit in the UK at timekeeping. So, but the thing with Jim Jeffries for me, it must have been about 8 or 9 years ago now, maybe a little bit longer. I had a breakup with an ex-girlfriend, and one of my pals said, right, we're going to do Christmas properly. And we literally sat there on Christmas Day all day, watched Richard Pryor, Jim Jeffries, George Carlin.
Nice.
What else did we watch? We literally had a comedy, like 16-hour marathon on Christmas Day. And probably before then, opened my eyes. I'd never seen Jim Jeffries before. And the stand-up of him in Manchester, where he's showing the video of the guy attacking him on stage, is fucking unreal. It's so funny. And then when he stopped drinking and got married and got really, really famous, his kind of act sucked a bit. But you know, all comedians go through that. I guess it's kind of what you think with, would you class all creative artists get all of their good stuff out the way in the first 5 or 10 years? Then after that, it's like, okay, what are we kind of searching for? I've got Dave Chappelle's new special on Netflix on my list to watch that I managed to do over Christmas. So I need to watch that. We're big Chappelle fans in this house.
Yeah, I need to watch that too. I didn't even know I didn't even know he had it coming out. It just popped up, and I'm like, oh, this was quiet. It just aired, so I had to check it out.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm such a fan of stand-up comedy because it's so, to have the ego to be able to do something like that, and then to you know, from small clubs to then go up to, like you see the levels of Chris Rock and all that, those guys playing to 10,000 people, and to have that amount of people in the palm of your hand, and it's literally stuff that you've developed over a year. I think it's such an amazing art form. I'm such a fan of that kind of stuff because it's a ballsy move.
100%. Yeah.
As people, you always say, okay, make me laugh. It's such a challenge for a comedian. Fucking make me laugh. And some people try, and you just, I don't get it. But when it clicks, so my entire life philosophy is built on Bill Hicks. I missed the chance to see him perform about 40 minutes from my hometown, and then he died a few months after. So I missed him on his final UK tour, and I was absolutely devastated about it. But a lot of the things that guy came up with, it when comedy works on another level, that is interesting, that is educational, and it's not dick and fart jokes. When you have a philosophy that makes you think, it makes me a bit of a highbrow wanker when someone say, I've got this comedy shit, do you want to watch it? And it's like, this shit's shit, because it's not George Carlin, it's not Richard Pryor, and it's not Steve Martin at his peak, and it's not Bill Hicks. And so it's like, okay, all these new guys have got nowhere to go because if they can't, nobody can get to that level anymore.
Right.
Now it's very rare.
I got introduced to Bill Hicks through Tool, actually, because Tool took Bill Hicks on the road, opening for them, one of the Lollapaloozas or something back in like 92 or 93, and that's how I got introduced to him, just by hearing them talk about him. And he's a great comedian. I like that dude.
Yeah, a big loss. I'd be amazed. It'd be fucking awesome if he was alive now to make out what had happened in the last 10 years. So that'd have been something nice to pick up.
We always say, what if this artist was still around, or what if this comedian was still around? It's like, man, if there's so many comedians that were still around, so many musicians that were still around, like, what would everything be? But we'll never know. Like, imagine fucking Jimi Hendrix, teaming up with fucking, I don't know, Lady Gaga. I don't fucking know. But, you never know,
That would be something to see.
Yeah.
I mean,
but then there would be that one hater like, oh, why'd they got to team up with her? It's like, yeah. His new shit is horrible. I like his old stuff. Why is he reinventing himself?
Yeah.
How dare they change?
The health and safety guy at the local venue says, Jimmy, so you've been setting fire to your guitars.
Yeah.
We've had the fire officer around. And he says, you're probably not allowed to do that right now.
Yeah. I think they learned their lesson when Great White burned down that building, that venue in was it Rhode Island or something that they
And obviously at the moment we've got the thing in Switzerland with the
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. When you see it made me twitch a bit when you see the photos of the guys sat on somebody's shoulders with the champagne bottles with the flares in, and the photograph is of like that sound dampening shit on the roof. Like, that's very flammable. I think let me look into my crystal ball. I think there might be some corporate manslaughter floating around at the back end of 2026.
Yeah. Man.
Hey.
And to think the band that I used to be in, we had these we shot off pyro at our shows, and our drummer would go to this place in Nashville called like Nashville Soundstage or something like that, and he would get these old cartridges like from the back of the store in a box, and it was like they might work, they might not, but they were only like $20. And the fact that Bruce, the guy that runs the End in Nashville, would let us use those on stage to this day. I mean, he's by far one of the best club owners ever that I've ever had the joy of working with. But yeah, I mean, we had these sketchy ass pyro that we would play with on stage, and yeah, it was like flaming towers that went up above your head, you know, just maybe like that far away from the ceiling. And
What were you in a Kiss cover band or something?
no, that's when I was in that was the Hoptown Tigers that I was in the my version, which was what we called shockabilly. So
Shockabilly. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah. I'm aware of the. So who's got the triggers for the pyro?
Our drummer did.
Okay.
So he would have like foot triggers by his hi-hat stand. So like whenever he wasn't using his hi-hat, he would just, you know, kick the left foot over and boom.
Okay, so please forgive my ignorance, not knowing the band.
Yeah.
What's the capacity of these venues?
Oh shit. What's the end? It's like probably less than 100, less than 200.
Okay,
Yeah.
fuck. So by usually when you go to a stage like with Rammstein or something, it's like
no.
you're 40 yards away from the stage, or else your eyebrows are gonna get fucking singed off.
Yeah.
When you're in a small club,
yeah. And
you're giving people like flame retardant covers when they go in. It's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, this is when I was rockabilly as fuck. So I had like a pompadour
product.
So I have like petroleum jelly in my hair. I'm wearing like this polyester like suit that's very flammable. And I've got, you know, these flame cannons behind me, and you can feel the heat going up the back of you, you know, while you're on stage and they're going off, and you're just like, am I on fire? Yeah. All right. I'm not on fire. Cool. You know,
this kind of shit. I love this because it's like, did you rehearse with this kind of stuff in the rehearsal room?
Oh no.
It's just like the first. It's like jumping out. I always do shit like it's like jumping out of a plane. When people jump out of a plane, they can't really practice. You just have to do it, and you've got a parachute. And it's like if you're setting pyro off, you know, fucking Parkway Drive on their recent tour with the spinning drum kits and fucking they basically hired out a big place to test it all before it worked.
Right? Yeah, none of our shit was tested before the show at all.
Yeah, part live show, part jackass.
Yeah. So I mean, and then we were supposed to do a show with a band called the Toilet Boys out of New York. And they did pretty much the same kind of shtick. They were, you know, 80s glam, lots of DIY pyro and shit like that. And 9/11 hit, and they didn't get to all, like, I guess like their rehearsal studio and everything like that where all of their gear was close to the Twin Towers, and they pretty much lost a lot of their shit and couldn't get to it. So that show to Nashville never happened. But we were always, you know, thinking in the back of our head, shit, if that show would have happened, maybe we would have set fire to the End that night. You know, either the Hoptown Tigers or the Toilet Boys would have burned down the End in Nashville.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
You know, with that band Thursday, they used to say that they were able to see out their practice space window the Twin Towers every day.
Oh shit.
And yeah, I'm like, wow. And then you look out there now and they're not even there anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But menu. Is
Yeah,
there a
wild.
venue? Is there a venue up there in England that's on a boat?
We have numerous venues that are on a boat. My uncle,
Oh wow!
in
Okay.
my hometown where I used to play, we used to play in a barge, which was basically a floating pub. And it was great. It was literally the focus of all the punk shows in the town till some fucking assholes broke into it in the middle of the night. And they basically worked out if they could turn off the electrics, they could get into the fruit machine and steal all the money. So when they turned the electrics off, they nicked the fruit machine money and went out. But what happens is if you turn electric off in a boat, the bilge pumps stop working. So there's a constant pump to keep it afloat because this thing was, quite old.
Yeah.
So the guys got up in the morning, went down, and so you went in through the top and you had to go down the stairs, and all of the fucking chairs and tables were floating because it sunk. Because it sunk. And that was the end of that venue. We were literally done by robbers. We're the famous boat venue in Europe is there's a place in Hamburg where they have a famous festival called the Booze Cruise.
Oh wow!
And so they have like a full like festival 3 or 4 days, and it's held on a boat in northern Germany. So yeah, I don't ever think, apart from my uncle's place, I've ever played a gig on a boat.
That'd be kind of rad. I know up in NYC they do that one where they'll go out there in the out there in the water, and they'll go around New York on a boat, and they'll do hardcore shows and shit on there. It's pretty wild. I don't know that. I wonder if you got moshing too hard and shit, and man, that fucking boat just be like, No, I mean I know it wouldn't, but I mean like but
Yeah,
the thing is,
somebody falling off the side, man.
Choppy waters.
Yeah.
Sea legs is a thing. So my hometown was the biggest fishing port in the world for years until it all kind of closed down due to ship. And it's really funny because I had friends whose dads were kind of trawlermen, and they'd go out on the boat and do fishing and that kind of stuff. And it's ingrained in me because I was brought up by the seaside, and we all had kind of people who worked in that industry. And when you get on boats and see people who literally can't deal with a boat going up and down, it just blows me mind. It's like, but it's literally your urea canal, and that sends you do lally.
Yeah.
It's for someone who's like, yeah, I've got perfectly sea legs. So I went on holiday to the Canary Islands with my wife a few years ago, and she doesn't drink. And we literally got on the boat, and we was on it for about 5 minutes, and she's like going like this. I was like, you all right? She's all right. It's like, I'm feeling really queasy. And the captain on the boat is like, you've got hangover. She's got, no, I feel sick. And we went out for this full day boat ride on this catamaran. And she spent the entire day laid in the captain's cabin, like literally, like trying not to spew.
Fuck.
And I'm like, yeah, beers. And she's like, a terrible time. And it was like, paid loads of money to go on this boat trip. But it's like, it's kind of said, if you literally don't have that kind of thing, and it's just really weird. Sorry.
I don't think I've ever been on a boat. I don't think I've ever been on a boat like that to figure out if I did have it, because like I've been on like out in the pond, out in the lake, fishing with my pops,
Yeah.
And I didn't really, but I mean, I've never been like on a big cruise or like a big boat like that to see if I.
Yeah. We've done the cruise before, and then we went up in New England. We went and did like some whale watching, and I remember my youngest brother-in-law, he could not handle it. Poor guy, he was like head over the side of the boat yerking, and I was fine. So I guess I'm a mariner at heart. So
the thing is, it can be a dangerous game if you're at a hardcore show, because if you plan a stage dive off the stage and it's flat and you're in a venue that's not moving, you're fine. Yeah, if you've got some choppy waters and you stage dive and you're the people you think are going to catch you are there, but they're over there, and bad things can happen. Bad things can happen.
I've heard horror stories about them, like those metal cruises. They had a couple years. They've had them happen over a couple years where people are falling off these boats, these cruises, and nowhere to be found afterwards. They can't ever find
Skid
them.
Row, yeah, woo!
Like there was one, the one a couple of years ago.
Damn
that
it!
was
What
like,
happened to Deborah?
no, the one
Yeah,
there was
but
one
she
with like
she was flashing her tits at Sebastian back, and that's like she did this and flew off the boat. It made a sail.
I don't think that cruise would last. It was just Skid Row. No, there was this one. It was like Testament, Exodus, and Slayer and shit. And it was
Oh
like,
Jesus!
yeah, it's called like 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
It's big. But this dude was just like, it was like 4 a.m. This dude was just standing on the rail, and all of a sudden he must have passed out because he just flopped over his backwards and there he went.
That's what Jägermeister does to the metalhead.
He spent all year thinking about, I'm going to reenact that scene in Titanic.
Right.
On 10,000 tons of metal. What's the worst that can happen?
Fuck.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Well, no. So, hey, Lee, do you like to play games?
Computer games or board games?
Yeah. Okay. Well, these are questionnaire games where Eric's gonna talk to you and ask you 7 questions, and there is no wrong, no right answer, but 7 questions. Okay. Whatever comes to your mind, first thing that comes to your mind, bam.
Okay.
Got it.
Hit me.
Cool.
All right,
Eric, go ahead.
Question number 1. Kind of should be fairly easy. Sex Pistols or the Clash?
Sex Pistols.
All right. Sex Pistols or the Ramones?
Sex Pistols.
All right. Cool. Yeah. That fucking that first Sex Pistols record, shaped my punk years to come when I was in the 6th grade for sure.
I could talk at the end of the questions if you want, but I never really got on with the Clash, and I never really got on with the Ramones.
Okay.
I bought one Ramones record, which is probably a travesty, which is the Pet Sematary 7-inch from the soundtrack for the record. And so that kind of stuff was never on my radar.
Yeah.
Think of me. I'm sorry for disappointing.
No wrong answer. No wrong answer. All right. You can either dress like either of these two for the rest of your life. You can either dress as Morrissey or Robert Smith at any time in their life. Who would it be?
Robert Smith. Morrissey's a cunt.
Yeah. See, that's what I say too. Yeah. I don't care if it's Robert Smith right now. Yeah. 100%.
I've got my nails painted. I'm okay with, kind of feminism. Sure. There we go.
All right. In your view, which sport should be or should add full contact to it? Putt-putt golf or disc golf?
Putt-putt golf.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what I'd say, because you got little Junior over there taking forever, and you're just like, you just run and you just fucking spear them. Get out of the way.
So just to be clear, so putt-putt golf is like this. We call it crazy golf in the UK. So it's like this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, definitely. You want to be boshing people. Time is money.
Exactly. All right. Out of the 4 Ghostbusters, who would you want to be?
I've literally just finished watching Ghostbusters 14 minutes before I came on to do this podcast.
Nice.
Venkman, of course. Come on. Yeah, there's no other answer to that.
Yeah, Dr. Venkman. Oh, man. Yeah. All right. What would you rather do? Arm wrestle or box Glenn Danzig?
This is the kind of shit I came here for.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat Glenn Danzig at neither of those.
Okay.
But I'd get more fulfilling. I might be able to get a couple of jabs in before he knocked me out. So I'd box Glenn Danzig because I get I'd literally, there's no benefit to me arm wrestling Danzig whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I might get a couple of jabs in. He's a bit heavier set than me, so and a bit older, so I might be a bit more nimble.
All right. I myself is Swayze crazy, as long as is Russ Attitude over there. So big fans of Patrick Swayze. You could be Patrick Swayze in one of his movies.
Roadhouse.
Ah, great answer. Yes.
One of us.
Yeah.
What other options are there?
Well, you got Red Dawn. Shit.
It's a classic, but
yeah.
You got
Okay, Ghost, Red Dawn.
Yeah, Ghost, Red Dawn.
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. Yeah. Ah, shit.
Yeah, come on. There's only one choice, Dalton.
Yeah.
There's only literally one choice.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's also it's bad when you can't name any more Patrick Swayze movies. You're like, that's all I got.
Well, what wasn't his legacy tainted at the conclusion of his career?
Oh, was it? I don't know. I didn't.
There was some questionable shit that went on with Mr. Patrick Swayze at the end, I think.
Ah, damn. I'll have to look into that. All right. And the last question of 7 with 7. What was your favorite record of 2025?
Oh, okay. I'm literally going to post my favorite records on my band Facebook in the next couple of days. So many good records. My favorite record, see, this is a bit of a cop-out. So my favorite release is by some of my pals called Darko in the UK.
Okay.
They've done 3 EPs, and they kind of culminated in a 12-inch release called Chapters. So only one of the EPs came out this year, but to actually have the balls and the foresight and just gusto to actually, it comes with a massive booklet inside that you can read, and each of the people who wrote the songs describe about what they did about doing it, with all the artwork and all that kind of stuff. And I've said to the guys, because I'm really good mates with them, that for those people to do that in our musical genre, it's proof that you believe in your artwork so much to actually give it care and attention, to actually, I'm going to do this, and to give it that kudos. And it was like, as soon as like, yeah, I'm buying this shit. And it took about 5 months to arrive. And randomly I got this, like, it dropped into my mailbox. And so that was my favorite release. The album I listened most to last year was the last Spirit Box record.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Thing is, I play skate punk, but I'm a metalhead at heart.
No, we're all the same.
Yeah,
we're the exact same. You know.
Thing is, it kind of tracks. My brother is 12 years older than me, so when I was a real young kid, this was at the height of vinyl buying, like the. So I was born in 1974. My brother was born 12 years older than me. So in the early 80s, I'd go in like Rainbow, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Frank Zappa, Captain Beefheart, all this kind of stuff. So I grew up with like really like random stuff. And my mum and dad, bless them, they're not here anymore, but we always had loads of records like Nat King Cole, Elvis, all this kind of stuff. It was a very kind of musical household. And it came to every stage as I got older. So I was listening to Iron Maiden, Motorhead, all that kind of stuff. Then when I went to school, one of my best friends at school, who got me into skateboarding, a guy called Syme, was really into rap. So it's exactly the kind of same time of Public Enemy and Straight Outta Compton came out. So I got into all that kind of stuff, and Ghetto Boys and KRS-One and De La Soul and all that type of thing. And then when I got a few more years under my belt, then there was another older guy he was the skateboard guy who was older than us, who had the car. So every time we wanted to go somewhere, we got in his car and we had to listen to his music. And that was when I got into Descendants and All and Doughboys and Big Drill Car, Minor Threat.
Nice.
Chemical People, like all the SST stuff, all the Cruise Record stuff, all the Discord stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, Strung Out's first album. That was fucking wild for me. And I've Face to Face were a very big band in my history. I think Don't Turn Away is a perfect record. And I bought it on I've still got the original first print on Dr. Strange Records.
Nice.
That people have tried to drag from my cold dead fingers.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of evolved. But it's like I can never let go to the metal stuff. I can never let go. And one of the things about me is a lot of the people that I know still listen to that kind of stuff, and I really don't. When I started getting into musical production, started getting a bit of a musical asshole, I can't go back and listen to Descendants on the regs because I really don't like the production. I don't like it sounds. I'm that kind of meaty stuff and all that. So it's, but you give me a Descendants record and a Meshuggah record, I'm taking the Meshuggah every day and twice on a Sunday. But I can never let go because the ironic thing is I'm like a metalhead who can't get into a metal band because my guitar playing isn't as good. So therefore it's like I'm quite okay playing this kind of skate punk stuff. I can kind of get by if you want me to do strung out covers and that kind of shit. It might be able to take me a bit to learn it, but it won't be able to do it. But I'm always, the thing is with me is I'm always out for new music. It's the thing that keeps me alive, is constantly listening to new stuff. Is that was good, what's next? That was good, what's next? What else have you got? And the music streamers that we have are all shit because everybody's, when you get to multiple like conglomerate business at that level, everybody's got shares in everything. And Spotify is an evil beast, and Daniel Heck is an evil beast. But it's one of those things with everything else in technology. You give it people access, and it gets so ingrained in your daily use that to get rid of it is kind of problematic, and that says a lot about who we are and how we're kind of sold as people. But so my Spotify is always constantly like, I want some new stuff, and there's been a lot of bands that I just have worked with and that I am working with, that because it's global, if I listen to something and I think I really like that person's vocal style, or I really like that, I'm going to reach out and see if they're willing to work or do whatever. And it's about building just relationships and that kind of stuff. But music is the only. I kind of get a bit twisted when people say music is not a big part of my life, because it has been a massive thing for me. And
same.
When I think, and the joy that I get when people say music, man, it's like, are you insane?
Right. Yeah.
Someone years ago once said to me, it was like a philosophical question, say, if you could lose your sight or lose your hearing, which one would it be? And I basically said I would want to lose my sight, because when I see stuff, it doesn't touch me as much as when I hear a chord progression or a whatever, or that hook, a chorus in a banging song that then builds an earworm, and you've got that for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. That's something that, as a musician, that I'm always trying to strive for. And it's a bit arty, it's a bit wanky, but it's like that's the thing. And until the day I die, music will be as part of what I do and what I try to do and what I hope to do. And the emergence of new technology, the internet, gives me the chance to be able to do that. Whereas historically, if it was a standard band kind of setup and you had to play gigs and then you had to sell records and that kind of stuff, whereas the internet, it was developed by a lot of people, primarily in the pornographic industry, who kind of helped develop. I did my dissertation at university on pornography, so.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say 3 cheers for mentioning Doughboys and Big Drill Car and fucking
Face to
face to
face.
face. Don't turn away. Like my gateway drug into face to face was seeing them open up for the Mighty Mighty Bosstones on the Big Choice tour. And I remember going to Tower Records probably maybe the weekend after and finding Big Choice on the listening station where you would walk up and you would put the headphones on and just check out every fucking track. And I never looked back after that. And they've been one of my favorite punk rock bands. Like other than Tony Sly of No Use for a Name, I think Trevor Keith is like by far one of my favorite songwriters. But Doughboys, great fucking band. Big Drill Car. Those were brought to my attention by my buddy Matt Yonker, aka Matt Drastic. He was in a band called Teen Idols in Nashville.
Oh yeah, I know Teen Idols.
Yeah. And he told me, because I love Descendants and all, but I love all a little more because of the three singers. Every singer brings, their own vibe to, just an amazing band. But he was like, he was like, check out Doughboys, check out Big Drill Car because they recorded at the Blasting Room. And I'm like, oh fuck, okay, cool. Yeah.
So in my first band, we played with All Systems Go, which was the kind of offshoot with Big Drill. We literally did a Big Drill cover with Mark Arnold playing guitar.
Nice.
And it was like one of the highlights of my musical career. It was like, we played this song. Do you want to fill in? And he's like, yeah, got up and like, holy shit. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. But it's one of those things and this is harking back, is those bands used to come and tour the UK and they used to play in pubs in back rooms to like 30, 40. So, and that was it. Whereas now those bands kind of hold back. And now they're playing 1,500 capacity rooms supporting XYZ. And it costs you, whatever, 25, 30 quid. So 34 years ago on my 16th birthday, we saw Green Day in a room with 12 people. It was a second ever date in the UK.
Oh shit!
It popped up on my Facebook memories. It's like, holy shit, what the fuck? It costed the grand total of £3.50, so $5.
Wow!
To watch Green Day, and there was 14 of us there, and this was in 1991. And it's like those I kind of feel for the youngsters of these days to not. Are they going to stumble on or get into pals, because the entry level gigs aren't there anymore for touring artists. I actually bought to the paying $200 to watch Nine Inch Nails on their tour. I was like, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
And we don't kind of get those bands touring wise unless it's my pals in Manchester Punk Festival putting those kind of bands on. So last year, Strung Out played and did Exile in Oblivion full set as part of the tour that they did. It was fucking brilliant. But it's like that kind of level of band, the people who listen to stuff like Neck Deep and listen to stuff, they don't engage with the skate punk type of thing. So to try and get young people to come to gigs, I don't know what it's like in the States, to get young people to come to shows in the UK, it's pretty tricky because people don't listen to that stuff anymore, which is why when you get to a festival like that, it's really cool to get people. So I'm really excited to see Strike Anyway. I've not seen them for a few years now. To get them to see how they integrate and interact or are watched by people who are less than half of my fucking age, to see what they make of that kind of thing. So I don't know is it the same in the States?
Yeah.
What's the average age of an audience at a skate punk show in the States?
Shit. I mean, there's a lot of salt and pepper in the crowd, like if you go see, a band like the Bouncing Souls these days, like you go see, the Descendants, or
there's a seating area at the back. These people
yeah.
need to sit down.
It's like, I need to find, that one column and just lean up against it, It's like,
yeah, when
I remember seeing, I was probably like 18 or something like that, and we went and saw Goldfinger on the first Goldfinger, like one of their first tours. They're supporting the self-titled record, and it was like $5, and they just happened to be on a bill with like, they did not mesh with anybody else on the bill, but I guess they were just like coming through Nashville, and they were like, "Hey, can we hop on?" And yeah, by the grace of God, they got put on the on this bill, and I was lucky enough to see it. But yeah. Just seeing bands like that for $5, man.
Yeah, they're doing all right for themselves these days.
Really. Oh yeah, I would think so. Yeah, John Feldman's he's doing all right.
Yeah, just having Mike Herrera filling in on bass. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Right. Hey Mike, what are you doing? Well, I'm kind of busy with MXPX. Right?
Yeah, would you?
Well, it's like he's in Goldfinger and an MXPX. I keep forgetting that Brandon from Turnstile is the drummer for fucking Trapped Under Ice, and I like watched like this old hardcore fest from a set of theirs from Rebellion Fest over in Europe, and it's like, wait a second, that's Brandon on drums, and then they did the whole Trapped Under Ice set, and then Turnstile appeared on stage and did one song, and then took off. But I'm like, I always forget that he's in Trapped Under Ice still. But I get why that band can't play as many shows, is because he's off doing Turnstile.
Yeah, everything is. I miss the Turnstile boat. I've tried. I've really tried. I just
can't do it.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Any of this, even the earlier stuff,
it's just not for me. I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I missed that one.
No. Do you like Trapped Under Ice?
That's the last time I saw Trapped Under Ice. They supported Terror on the European tour. Yeah, that was a sick gig.
I
love it.
I don't think there's a year that Terror's not in Europe.
Must be nice, man.
Yeah, I think Vogel can pay his mortgage by just playing shows in Germany all the time.
Yeah, it's like, man, I was like, that band is never not in Europe. It's like that hardcore band First Blood from the Bay Area. They don't ever play the States, but they still be doing it hard in Europe, Like,
wow. Yeah, that shit. It's just like Less Than Jake, man. They're always on the road, dude.
Yep.
Always on the road. Road warriors for sure. So.
Well, the thing is, it's the only surefire way you can make some money.
Yeah.
In a band these days is literally being a road dog. So fair play to him, especially when you get to that age, we all like a comfortable bed.
Yeah.
Don't want to be sleeping on hard floors or in that kind of shit. So get me a hotel, get me a tour bus, and I'll keep you on.
Yeah.
Until you put me in the ground.
Yeah. My buddy Rev, he's in the Drowns, and they are constantly on the road. I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, that's rad. I met him. Shit. It's probably almost 12 years ago while he was filling in on bass for a band called Nothington. And we toured from Florida out to California and became best buds. So been friends with that dude ever since. But yeah, the Drowns, they're always on the road, whether it be, Europe, UK, Japan, the States.
It's admirable for people that still want to do it, and there's an audience for people, especially after we've just been saying about kind of ticket prices and stuff. It's if people are willing to go out and actually pay the money, the relationship when you build of bands at kind of that level, and it becomes even more of an event for the fan. There's something about going to see a band with 2 to 500 people that you're literally this close to people on stage, and they will hang out and that kind of stuff. It's something that I kind of, helps when I go back. It's like to see all of these bands in these small venues, and we've interacted with them, and we've they remember us next time they've come around and that kind of thing. It then gives you more not incentive and involvement and a link,
for sure.
link with the band, which is why, you know, you get the kind of, I knew them before they got big. I can imagine the people like who saw Turnstile in a venue with 50 people would probably think,
right.
They just played Manchester, 40 mile away from me. There was 10,000 people there at their last show.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's wild.
Yeah. Festival shows are great, but give me a club show, up close, intimate club show. Yeah. Any day. Yeah.
Yeah. When kicked in the head by one of your heroes.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't really hold them to any line. You were in the way. Sorry.
I got spit on by Mark from Guttermouth. It was great. You know?
You don't find many G.G. Allen fans going, he threw shit at me. I had a great time.
Well, see, all of his real fans were in the back, you know, against the wall.
Like,
and they were laughing at everybody up front, you know.
Yeah, we're in plastic parkas and shit. We know what's coming. You guys, you can go to the front.
Those guys were all, founding members of GWAR. They were like, oh, we can do this. Okay.
Yeah. That's fucking.
People want to get shit on. Okay.
No. Yeah, you gotta leave G.G. Allen's show, get tetanus shots and shit.
Oh, God,
you know.
Just run yourself through a car wash, you know.
Yeah. I like the fact that in his medical reports, when they found his corpse, he was blue. It's like, that guy went out. He went out his own way. Whatever medical prescription drugs he was on, he had a good time with that. Yeah.
Well, didn't they say they found him face down in cocaine?
Yeah, his mother loved him. Let's shall we say.
Here's the photo of your. This is the last photo of your son. She was like, yeah. You know what she said though? She said, "Put that on a T-shirt. Let's sell it."
Fuck. The thing is, go to the funeral. It's in like the big gold frames with a picture next to the casket.
Yeah.
Little ass with his head in this pile of cocaine.
Yeah.
Sacred blur.
All right. Did you go see Oasis?
No.
No.
No, I respect the band. The first movie I watched this year, so I've got a letterboxd account, one of them assholes who reviews every movie. The first movie I watched this year when I got up on New Year's Day was the Supersonic, with the Oasis documentary. I really respect them, because if you've got that level of ego and to follow through, there are very few people who get to do that.
Yeah.
In the kind of Britpop wars, I was more of a Blur guy.
Blur, yeah.
Even though I'm from the north, and Oasis should be my bag, and Blur is supposed to be the posh people from the south. But you can't. One of the things is, let's say about music, is you can't really criticize people for what they like, and you can't criticize people. There's a lot to be said. You can give Noel and Liam as much shit for being assholes, and that they are assholes and they're egotistical assholes, but their music will, as he says, my music's going to live on forever. The stuff that I write is not going to live on forever. The stuff that Liam Gallagher writes is going to live on forever. So fair play to the lad. I can't knock him for that.
I always think about that, music lives on, and music that gets popular, like huge. It's like, these people know that when they're writing that song, that this is going to, like, did fucking Axl Rose know that Welcome to the Jungle was going to be as fucking huge as it was? Probably not, but it's just like, man, to know that you're just sitting there writing this song, it could be that fucking song,
Imagine Baby Shark.
Oh shit.
Yeah, right. No shit.
The thing is, the fucker who wrote that tune, who literally needled into 3-year-old kids' heads.
Yeah.
Baby Shark, shut up! And before you know it, I'm like, that and Gangnam Style. It's the weird ones that literally go multi-billion streams. Like,
that What the Fox Says song too.
Oh God, yeah.
That song, man. It's like they know what's annoying enough to fucking be something, you know?
Right.
Because Gangnam Style was that dude was a pop star success, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
in his own country.
He was like huge, like Paul McCartney levels in Korea, and it's like, but it once again proves that anybody who writes songs, if you don't click something, there is the fear. If you stop, that might be your My Baby Shark. So I've got to sing this song through. It might hit with people, and that's the constant thing. Is you've got only ever 12 different notes, and these and it creates something that will then go catastrophic. It's torturous for the musician, because if you stop and it's like, that's it. The next song I do wrote could mean that I could move into and do money was no object and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's what did I read yesterday? Which is that song Blue Baba Dee Baba Doo Baba.
Yeah.
It's been re-released 417 times.
Jesus.
Because it's about triggering earworms for new people that haven't heard it. So when stuff kind of dips off, and then there's all this kind of music stuff comes through, it's like then finding something that hits you kind of subconsciously, that then it's the foot tap. That's all anybody's after with the songwriting. Can I make your foot tap? And then if you don't know it, have you got Shazam on your phone? And before you know it, then you're down the rabbit hole of that.
There's a lot of songs that around that era that came out that were just like sounds like that beep da ba ba da ba beep ba ba da ba, like,
oh man, the Scat Man. Yeah.
You know?
It's like, yeah. It's like, what would you have rather be known for, writing Imagine or the Scat Man? You know?
And the fact that the name Scatman has a very different terminology in the UK. I don't know whether it does in the States. Yeah, scat is a very different thing.
Nice.
Like the scat porn.
Yeah. Scheisse, yeah. So it's
oh shit.
yeah, quite literally, yeah.
Yeah, Cartman's mom. Never mind.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like with these kind of pop songs, there's literally an army of people with money to then push it to you, to then get that needle in your brain. So fundamentally, we're kind of we're fighting a losing war.
Right.
One of my I don't usually do New Year's resolutions, but one of my ones this year is I'm going to pay a bit more attention to like these big artists. So I'm going to sit down and listen to Sabrina Carpenter's new album. And I'm going to listen to Dua Lipa, whoever she may be. I think she's English or something. Show me age. All right, Grandad. Do you want to come and listen to this? What's this bloody racket? And so it's one of the things is I've always been pretty open-minded in that respect. Like my wife was laughing at me. So I was a constant. I used to have loads of vinyl, and then I sold my record player, but I still couldn't sell the vinyl. So she bought me a record player last year. So I came back. She was working over my 50th birthday. So I went to Malta with my brother just for like a couple of days, just to get away, just to see my 50th. And I came back and she bought me this record player. And the first record I played on it was the Immaculate Collection by Madonna.
Oh, nice.
What a collection of songs. Yeah. Literally can't knock that shit. What absolutely brilliant. It's like a Backstreet Boys, Millennium. What a record. There's certain ones, and it's like, okay, these kind of new pop artists, are they going to hit quite as hard as the Backstreet Boys and Madonna? We shall see. Come to see me in 12 months, and I'll let you know.
Well,
when you ask me what my favorite record of 2026 was, if it's
One Direction.
Yeah. One Erection or One Direction.
I
Hey,
mean, when we were kids in the 80s, I mean, pop music was fucking everything, man. It's like you had Michael Jackson, you had Madonna, you had Cyndi Lauper, you had Tina Turner, you had
yeah.
Hall and Oates. I mean, like pop music back then was fucking pop music. I mean, it was, yeah. And then the 90s had some good pop music. But yeah.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah, the boy band and girl band thing kind of lost on me.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's my age. That's me. That's, you know, I
mean, you weren't
gray bearded 51-year-old white guy from Northern England. I'm not the kind of I'm not the designated audience for that kind of thing. I don't think.
You mean the Spice Girls was your thing back in the day?
The thing is, there was so much choice in the UK at that time. So there's the Spice Girls. There was Bewitched.
Bewitched, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously Destiny's Child.
18.
Eternal.
Oh.
So show me age now. Yeah, I was just thinking. The Spice Girls was it was like the Oasis and Blair thing. It was very much of its time, but it was a national cultural thing. If you would ask me who my favorite was, Scary Spice, I think.
Yeah.
Because she was from the north of England. There we go. So we had to.
Yeah, I think I was the only one that was on like the Sporty Spice. There's something about those workout gear, man. She did it. She did it for me.
Okay, so Eric, have you seen the video to her new single?
No.
Go watch it. It's called Sweat.
Okay.
There you go. She's 52, and I'll leave you with that. Just there you go. There's my tip for you for today.
Nice. Write that down so I don't forget.
Yeah, I was like, hang on a minute, is that Melanie Chisholm? Jesus wept.
I remember when I was, you seen those European magazines with Ginger Spice in them back in the day. Because she did, I hear, one of those magazines have like a boob out or something, which is just normal magazines over there. But
yeah.
Well, come on, we're European. We're supposed to be.
Yeah, the nipple.
Oh
is,
man, when I lived in Germany, I would go to go to the metal magazine section. I'd look at the metal mag, but then look at the sports car magazine too, and see
get that Samantha Fox, that Samantha Fox magazine.
Yeah, Samantha Fox.
Oh yeah,
Samantha. They're all coming out today. Yeah, but the ironic thing is, it's one of my favorite things from Bill Hicks stand-up when he said when he moved to the UK and the nudie magazines have like black strips on like the nipples and stuff.
Yeah,
he's like, you expect to go to a live sex show and there's some guy in front holding like a black square so you can't see it. He said, I paid good money for this pornography. I want to see titties. It's like a big black square on it, so you can't see the nipples.
Yeah.
Mainland Europe was pretty forthgoing in their attitudes. We're incredibly repressed in England. Incredibly repressed. Come on, it's Bronte and corsets and innuendo, but not actually nude and profanity.
Yeah, I watching TV in Europe is so much different than watching TV in the States because like it's European. They got everything on TV. You come back to the States, it's like, nope. You got a soap commercial for a body wash, and they're washing a car. But you watch it in Europe, and they're washing their body.
Yeah, it's like you get like an armpit over here in the States.
Yeah.
Overseas, you got boobs.
Yeah.
So I've visited the States 2-3 times. The most annoying fucking thing about American television is, this must be my OCD, is the programs don't start on the hour. What do you mean? What do you mean a program is starting at 10 past the hour? What the fuck is going on? It should start on the hour. And if it's it's an hour and 45 movie, it's then 2 hours, and you've got 15 minutes of commercial spread throughout, and then the next program starts at 10 o'clock. starting stuff at 20 past the hour or 25 past the hour. This is this is why our country is going to hell in a handcart. It's because you literally can't organize your television schedule to work appropriately with being starting at an appropriate time.
So, what music have you gone to? Any music festivals over here in the States?
No, I haven't. I've been. Yeah, I tell a lie. I went to the final date of the Warp Tour in 2009.
Okay.
In Los Angeles. So I basically, and a guy I used to work with, we built a 2-week trip to LA around the Warp Tour. So the Warp Tour was the last day before we flew home. And it was a really interesting experience. The fact that you can't have a beer while you're watching a band is a fucking crazy idea.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that was during that time.
But it's like in the UK, you go to a music festival, you get to the front, you've had a couple of beers, you can't be asked to go to the bog, you don't like the band, you piss in your pint glass and you throw it at the artist. This is historically what used to happen at like Donington and Monsters of Rock, is like these tales of like being covered in pints of piss. So literally, by the ironic thing from that year, it was really, really cool, because it's like being a skate punk and going to see the Warp Tour. Obviously, the Warp Tour I've done in Europe, they played like dates in the UK, but I'd never been. And to actually go and see an actual Warp Tour in the States was quite an life-changing experience for me. But it just wasn't what I expected it to be. So like you had to watch the bands. The one thing I really liked is the fact that you didn't know the lineup in the morning until you got there.
Right, yeah.
So it's like you don't get the usual, okay, there's some smaller bands, big bands. So the first band I saw of the day was Sayasin. I fucking love that band. Their first record is second or third favorite record of all time. They played first. Okay. And then A Day to Remember were on, I think, after them. I think NoFX played in the afternoon. It was like, right, we need to go get some beer. You can't go get a beer. You need to go to the beer area. So we had to run through. It was like, we're British, we need some beer. Just give me 2, bang, bang. It's like, okay, give me another one. I'll take it with me. And the guy at security goes like, you can't take that out there. What do you mean I can't take my beer out there? Bang, back again. And the ironic thing was I went to see all of these bands in the Warp Tour. So I saw DOA. I'd never seen DOA before. They were fucking incredible. Absolutely mind-blowing. They were so good. I was like, those guys are old, but they can fucking rock. But the ironic thing was I went all the way to see the Warp Tour in Los Angeles, and by far the best band of the day were Gallows, who were from London.
That's
yeah.
It was the same year that Under Oath were playing, and Fat Mike was giving it the anti-religion stuff all the time, and really shit all the time. And Frank Carter, who's a singer for Gallows, came on and basically said, it basically spent the first 2 minutes before the band was tuning up, abusing the entire crowd and calling them idiots and religious zealots and dickheads and whatever. Jumped into the crowd and played the entire set singing. And the guitarist jumped off and played. It was just a cathartic experience. It was fucking mad. I was like, I've come all the way to LA, and the best band are these geezers from fucking London. What's all that about? But it just, and I think it's a good thing that the Warped Tour has come back, but obviously I can't comment on, I think the ticket prices are quite a lot of money compared to what it was. And I got another thing was, so when I went to Los Angeles, I got the chance to go to the Glass House in Pomona to see 4 Year Strong, Set Your Goals, Fireworks, and Broadway Calls, I think. Yeah. But just like, this was one of those venues that you'd heard a lot from the UK, and you just go, and it's like, I'm at this wild venue that I've seen in all these videos, and to actually be in it. And it was like, I went to the Whiskey A Go-Go and was in there for 25 minutes after being escorted out by the bouncers because of the woman behind the bar. I ordered 2 Jägermeisters and a pint, and she shook a tip jar at me. And because I'm English, it's like, you fucking saved me a drink at the bar. Why should I tip you? You've literally walked 3 paces. And started arguing with her. Net me drinks, and she clicked at security, and basically I was asked to leave for being an argumentative European shitbag. And so I'd like had this experience of being in a club in LA and then going to another one. And so it was. It's really interesting to see shows on the other side of the world, because it's like, you don't want to compare crowds or whatever. I've seen insane hate breed stuff and that kind of gear in the UK where people are trying to kill each other. And it's just like, is crowd killing as much of a bigger thing in the States? In the UK, I stopped going to hardcore shows because I was like, I just want to watch the band without watching someone at fucking 3 o'clock trying to spin kick me in the head.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And it was like, it kind of spots. So I stopped going to hardcore shows for a few years because I went to see Strife. And it was great because it's like, it was a bunch of old people who weren't as athletic, who it was like, we're here there was a bit of stage diving, there was all that kind of stuff, there was a bit of pushing and that kind of stuff, but there was no spin kick nonsense, bollocks.
Right,
like,
no head walking, none
of that. This is great. This is so fun. So I'd love to go to places like Fairness Fest. I'd love to go to that kind of stuff. But it's like, I'd like, just come on. But this is the age show. I love to throw it down in my younger days, but not so much now. Get me a chair. I'll stand at the back. I'll enjoy it. My favorite band in the world is Converge.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait for their new record. I took a couple of one of my friends, Mike, years and years ago. He was a metalhead, but he listened to all Roadrunner stuff. So like Il Nino, Mushroom Head, all that kind of stuff. I took him to see Converge in this back room in a place in Leicester. And he was like, when's the band turning up? I was like, they're here. He's like, they look like a bunch of gypsies. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, you have the rock stars. No, literally, they're going to play a floor show. It's going to be sick. You're going to enjoy it. And he had to leave halfway through. He was like, I can't take this. This is just too fucking much for me. I was like, okay, we'll wait for 2 weeks for Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I'd love to come out of mosh retirement for the odd band now and again. But I think for the Warped Tour as well, because it was in a parking lot, you can't expect people to do loads of mad shit because people are getting hurt because it's concrete and there's no forgiving in that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's I'd love to be able to come over and play some festivals in the United States, but logistically for the act, it would be really tricky. But yeah, stuff like Fairness Fest or like the New England Hardcore Fest, stuff like that. I'd love to go to stuff like that because it's those things like Reading and Leeds in the UK used to be a really big rock thing. It's not anymore. The attitudes and choices of the youth of those have changed. It's more like a pop festival now. Whereas that kind of stuff where you've got even Fest. I've got a couple of my pals played Fest in Florida this year, and it's not. I don't think musically but it's like there's so much. How can you throw 10,000 bands at a festival and trying to go and see this kind of stuff in 5 or 6 days? But it's like you need to at least go and experience something like that. Before we crawl off this mortal coil. And that's the ironic thing. The older you get, the more your back hurts, but the more disposable income you've got to actually go to these kind of things.
Exactly.
So it's like it's like a really shit dichotomy. It's like I really want to go to this gig, but I don't want to get hurt, so I'm going to get a seat. And it's like that's the subject of going and watching this kind of stuff.
Yeah, this year at Fest, I think I was more concerned with what shoes am I going to wear so my feet don't hurt, as opposed to who am I going to have to miss. I was more in line of, are my feet gonna be comfortable?
Come on, it's a sensible footwear.
Exactly.
Your day can be made so much better with sensible footwear.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, but yeah, Fest is definitely one that I highly recommend if you ever get the means. It's probably my favorite. U.S. festival for sure. But I've never been to PRB either. But Yeah.
The thing is, I was snowboarding in Japan with the guy who lived in the States. He was trying to get me to come to PRB. The last couple of years the lineup's not been too great.
Yeah.
They tend to really lean into some of the old school, like legacy artists. And it's
right. Yeah, that's what it
"Meh."
seemed like. Yeah, the last couple of years, Devo or
And it's like
Madness, and just like
Madness. Suggs is a fucking TV celebrity in the UK. It's
nice.
like this guy's he was everywhere. He's a household name. Is Suggs, and Madness are a household name band. And then to see them to be like a headline at punk festival in Vegas, like
right.
Yeah, you had mentioned DOA earlier. I never realized they were Canadian.
Yeah,
I always thought they were an LA band.
I thought they were Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Canadian.
They're Canadian, eh?
But nice. They were playing a side stage, and it was really funny. So I watched them, and there was those guys who must have been, Christ knows how old they were at that time. They still were old compared to guys. And they were absolutely, I was like, I've never heard that's one of the joys of going to a music festival, is stumbling onto somebody that you've never heard before. And you've had a head off, but you never actually watched them and think, holy shit, these guys are going to be in my rotation. And then the band that I saw after that were a band called ywiygi from the UK, who played to 30 people who they've got gold records in the United Kingdom. So literally like insane levels of success. And it was, that's the one, the festival thing has to be embraced by people when it's, the long days, which is why if it's a festival that is in a city, like let's say Manchester Punk Festival or Fest or whatever, you can basically, you're in a roof, you've got a bed, you're not camping, because immediately if you're camping at a festival, everything is a nightmare times 5, especially like you ain't got any sleep, too much booze, shitty food. If it's warm weather, you need to go to the bog and take your life in your own hands when you open that toilet door.
Right. Yeah.
You try and get an early night one night, and some people are walking back to their tents. They trip over your guide ropes. They fall on your tent. They wake you up.
Yeah. Fuck.
That kind of shit. Yeah, it's it can be troublesome. So, but once again, that's age. I implore anybody who's age 16 to 25 to go and do as many festivals as you can.
100%. Yeah.
And take from it what you will. Just get your jabs. Just keep clean. Just wash your hands.
Right.
Your hands are clean. Somebody said to me, which I never realized, at work the other day, saying about having dodgy stomachs when you go abroad. And we were saying, you do realize that's feces. I was like, what? He says, everybody keeps saying these fancy things about, oh, you've got a dodgy stomach or this, that, and the other. It says, basically, the person who's prepped your food hasn't washed their hands after wiping their ass. And so that's why, fundamentally, if you get a bad stomach from food poisoning, it's because it's basically you've got people have feces and shit in their fingernails. And I was like, yeah, thanks for that. I'm going to ask to see every time I go on holiday, is the chef wearing gloves?
Right.
Yeah.
Or else I'm literally just going to be like sat there eating bananas. So don't even, it says the safest food to eat if you've got bad guts is a banana. Don't eat any other fruit because they've washed it underwater, wash it with their hands. You have to peel a banana. It's inside. The delights are inside. So there you go. There's my travel tip, kids.
Nice.
That is true. Bananas, really the only fruit that you got a shell on the outside. You peel it. Everything else you got to take a bite into it. And
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
There you go. Safe travel.
Or an avocado. Avocado's safe.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
It's one of the things in the UK they say to young people who can't afford for a deposit for a house to buy a house, say cancel your Netflix subscription and don't buy avocados.
Oh, shit. But I love guacamole.
Yeah, like it fucking makes a difference. Come on.
Right.
So, well, gentlemen.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. This has been fun.
It's flown by.
Yeah.
That's sure. That's why we do this. No one ever knows what they expect on this podcast, and me and Eric
Right.
just talk about everything. I mean, we just
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about you. We just got done talking about poop. You know. I mean, you know. So
It all comes back to poop.
All comes back to poop. The circle of life.
Yeah.
Well, Lee, tell everybody where they can find you, your project, Hike the Peak.
So yeah, we are on all the socials. We're on all the streamers. Hike the Peak or Hike the Peak UK. And there we go. This is my bit of promo. I'm so proud that I started writing music in my spare room, and I physically got a tangible physical release. And that makes me happy. And if anybody can go through life and they have a couple of things that make their soul feel full, then they are blessed. And I'm not religious in any way. I'm not that way inclined, but to have some artistic feedback, and I said earlier about Brits, we're very kind of cynical, and I find it very hard to get kind of positive remarks and people kind of not blow smoke up the ass, but give me compliments on what I do, and I find it very tricky to do. But to spend time with people, like-minded guys like yourselves, to just want to chat to me about all this kind of stuff and poop stories and that kind of jizz. It means the world to me, the fact that you guys are on a different continent, you're on the other side of the water, and to do something like this makes me feel very happy. And so thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, man. And yeah. Hopefully this won't be the last time we chat. So yeah, keep us updated with all the new stuff for sure.
Yeah, will do. Thanks. Cheers,
right,
guys.
Man. Wait.
Cheers.
Later.
It's Buddy Christ.
What up, buddy? And we had a little. Whoa, damn! Buddy
man.
just got beat up by
Trap Jaw.
Yeah, Trap Jaw. Anywho,
yeah.
So that was a fun episode,
dude. I want to go to the UK and hang out with that guy on the reg. Yeah, I love the UK. You have to go over there.
I was at the airport.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I think I was I was probably 14 or 15.
Yeah, it's a good time over there for sure. But yeah, Hike the Peak. They're fucking awesome. I love the concept. I love everything about it. It's really fucking great.
It reminds me of and this is he's doing what he's doing by himself as a smaller band. It reminds me of like what Dave Grohl did with Probot. You know what I'm saying? He had different singers on that. Just like Mark Morton from I think it's Morton, the guitar player from Lamb of God.
Yeah.
He has his own he has his own project. It's just called the Mark Morton Project or Mark Morton. And every song has a different singer on it as well, and it's cool as fuck. But I like that concept, man, because like we never dive into a lot of these questions on the podcast, and then I have them. But what what would have been interesting to know is like after he records the music, if the artist that he sends it to with the lyrics, because they all write their own lyrics, does he have to change? Does he have to go back and change the instrumental layout? But maybe this person's like structure didn't fit the way the cadence didn't fit with that riff. So can you make it extended or whatever? But anywho, we don't ask those questions here.
Nah.
We talked about poop and and he didn't like Oasis.
And that was funny. It was like that was gonna be one of the seven with seven. I had it like last minute. I jotted down Oasis or Blur, and
oh wow,
yeah.
I would have went Oasis or Coldplay.
I was
gonna ask him that, but then I was like, nope, I'm not. We're not doing that again, Russ. But that's why I did that. That's why I only did the Jim Jeffries, Jim Carr one, because I was but yeah, those are cool questions, man.
Anarchy in the UK by the Sex Pistols. That album, oh man, it was so good. We have like the cassette somewhere. It's
Still?
probably over at my brother's house back in
Is it
Tennessee.
is it the original from when you were a
Um,
kid?
yeah.
Yeah.
Got it when we were in high school, or when my
I
brother was in high school.
I saw the Sex Pistols in 96 in Memphis. They played Mud Island in Memphis.
Oh wow.
The original lineup. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and everybody argues. They're like, the original lineup, Sid Vicious is dead. I'm like, yeah, but he wasn't the original bass
He wasn't the
player.
original bass player. I mean, the guy
And
that is playing bass was the original
yep.
bass player.
And it was cool. It was
Yeah.
cool. Gravity Kills opened up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was but that's that era where, there were some weird bills back in the day,
Yeah, yeah.
But no, yeah, definitely cool cat. Great music. And he seems like he had the same introduction to music as we did.
Yeah, for sure.
We all kind of started with like the metal. You started, with the metalish, and I started off with the metalish, and then we all got introduced into punk and
Yeah.
and whatever. And then after that, all of our musical taste is out there.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think
great,
the
though.
three of us could all walk into a bar and see a jukebox, and we would all put on our own separate like playlist or whatever, and no one would have an issue with what each other were playing.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, hell, yeah. So we're all we're all the same age. He actually said he turned 51 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
hell, he might share a birthday with you and you don't even know it.
Right. Yeah.
You know. So, but oh yeah, and happy late birthday. Even though we've already said it, but on the
Thank you,
interwebs,
sir.
everybody.
Yeah. It feels good to be the 5-0. So
yeah, not that 5-0 though.
Not that 5-0. No, I'm cool.
No, not the whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not ICP either. I just thought about that. They do say woo woo. Oh, they'll say woo woo. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
I don't know.
They're one of the biggest independent acts out there. I'll give it to them.
Hey man, they're still going. The Gathering is still a thing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they got the new version of the ICP out there. Like, I guess they're called the Suicide Boys. Have you heard them?
No.
They sold out Bridgestone twice. Like, they sell out arenas, these motherfuckers, and they're all independent.
Wow.
And I'm like, these independent dudes should have jumped on the vinyl gang, because that would make their collections, like people's collections of stuff, worth more. Anywho, but yeah, they're called Suicide Boys. I say they're kind of similar, kind of like ICP, but they're not considered a gang.
So I thought like Twisted, weren't they the children of ICP or whatever? I don't know.
Twist the rapper. There's a one that's like, not that guy, but Twister, or is it Twista too?
I thought it was Twisted. ED.
Twisted. That's what it is. Twisted is ICP. Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Then you had the Cottonmouth Kings. They were all part of that crew too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is a juggalo? I don't know. They had that song. What's the ICP song? How do magnets work?
Yeah, miracles, man. That's the only. I saw that video once, and that was the only thing that stuck out. How do magnets work?
Yeah,
that shit's deep, yo.
Yeah. Oh, look up, and everybody that's listening, look up the Hot Ones verses that just came out. It's ICP and Guar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking funny, but it's also weird to see Guar being normal people, but with the costumes on.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because they're friends with ICP, because over the years they've come to play together, and those kind of fests and shit. But yeah, anywho. But yeah. So anyway, great episode. I think we're gonna have a good year.
Episode. Yeah. Good to be back in the chair for 2026. We got some great things already planned, already scheduled. So stoked to bring all of these guests to our listeners and our followers and our subscribers and those who don't and do drink Mick Ultra. and hold one
Well-
in their band photo. So yeah,
Well-
yeah.
I just hope that this episode, and I haven't said this before, but a lot of the times, you brought this to you brought this to my attention just because of how it was said. But you had said that the old lady, gave some suggestions on the podcast, and you know what? I always think, and one of the things was like, hey, make sure you guys introduce who you're talking to. And in my head I'm only thinking people are watching. I forget that people just listen.
Right.
So I'm thinking
yeah.
like they already know that shit. I'm like, fuck, I do need to say that because we both don't do it. But in my head, I'm like, oh, people are watching this, so it's cool, But yeah, that is something that we took and fixed, and every idea or suggestion helps. So
Yeah, for sure. Unless you're a dick, and we won't listen to it. So
no, but yeah, because I got called a douchebag. No, I got called a douchey or something because I sounded like I'm a gatekeeper in the thrash metal world on how I asked, so what's your favorite thrash band? But
well,
then we
here
also
at the
found
You
out
Want
that
It, You Got It podcast, Russ is a gatekeeper. And-
yeah, gatekeep these nuts. All right. Anywho, on that note, Eric,
Cool.
it's been real.
It's been awesome.
And we got something coming out next week and something coming out that week. But yeah. All right. We will conquer the world.
Yes. Be with us. Be one of us in 2026.
One of us. One of us.
One of us. All right. Later, guys.